It looks like we are live. Welcome everybody to Mappy Hour. This is our happy hour for those of us who love maps, also known as geocachers. So cheers, everybody. Welcome to another Friday. Cheers. Our internet is pretty slow.
Scott, make it back in.
He hasn't yet. Okay. Our internet is very slow here at this hotel. You all are frozen, unfortunately. I hope you all can hear us and see us okay because you all are frozen for us. Streaming to YouTube, so I'm gonna carry on and hopefully this will clean up here in a minute. Boy, I'm not even sure we're really live streaming. But again, I'm Lisa. Look at Lisa from Cache Nuts, and I am your host tonight. And this is our other host.
Hopefully we didn't just lose them.
Yeah, Lisa, you kind of stopped mid-sentence.
She did. Um,
Looks like they're trying again.
Looks like they're trying to switch hosts, but welcome to Mappy Hour, everyone. Hopefully, Lisa and Kid Vegas 19 can hopefully get their internet connection back on. For now, welcome to Mappy Hour, and I guess I'll host things until hopefully they come back online. Um, why don't we start notes from the field? Anybody's game for that?
Well, Robert, you are always first. Why don't you go ahead?
All right. I got my 500th hide, my 5,900th find, and my 830th favorite point. Been cashing around Colorado, just been timing it between the calls for rain, but not really any rain or anything. It's been dry here. So, hopefully, we'll see next week if I get to go down to Centennial and do a geocaching event. That's my big plan. Melissa, it looks like you've raised your hand. Let's let you go next.
Very little geocaching going on here right now. I'm in the middle of baking central. My daughter and I are baking 70 dozen cookies for the Wedding Cookie University next weekend.
Wow.
But I am going to an event tomorrow. And I missed Aceto on Monday. I had it on the calendar. I knew it was there. I had made my schedule around it. I started baking cookies, and guess what? I forgot.
No problem.
So, yeah, the pictures showed up that night and went, oh. So cookies are on my mind. But
hey,
I
cookies
love,
are a great thing.
yes. and but yes, I will get to an event tomorrow. So a little bit of geocaching going on.
There you go. What kind of flavored cookies are you baking?
We have 7 kinds. 2 are from Heloise Hints. A white cake mix with patriotic M&Ms, a strawberry cake mix with chocolate chips, a cherry blossom cookie with special chocolates in the middle, Quaker oatmeal cookies, Irish oatmeal cookies. Oh, Charles Lindbergh's favorite cookie.
Nice.
And I think I'm forgetting one, but if it'll show up, these are the
those are pretty.
time consent. Yes, 6 little balls, and then you put the chocolates on them at the end. Those
That's
were very
amazing.
time-consuming. So
Excellent.
we're down to the last 12 dozen.
That's good.
I'll get
I'm
off
sure.
and let Vince talk.
Sure, no problem. Thanks so much for telling us about your adventures. All right, Vince, we're doing notes from the field.
She's going to have to send us all cookies now.
Yes, she is.
Robert, Lisa's back. Should I see if
Nancy
they have
already
can
gets
talk
my
now?
cookies.
Okay. Yeah, Lisa, can you hear us at all?
Robert, carry on.
Oh, you're doing a good job.
All right, cool.
It's all you.
Vince, you
In case
raised
we
your
drop
hand.
off again, and then you.
Oh,
Can you hear me, Vince?
yep. Okay. Yeah, I had a very busy geocaching week. With most of the schools being on spring break, I've had a lot of extra time off. I went with another geocacher last weekend, and we made an Illinois county run. Picked up multiple counties. I've now got 78 of the 102 now in Illinois. So one more trip, and that should complete that state, which would be my fourth one. And briefly, for about 2 days, I was completely caught up on my treasures and collections because going when you go out of town like that makes it much easier to you find treasures and stuff to pick from. So I was briefly completely caught up for about 2 or 3 days, and then the new collection just came out for which would be in my case mostly probably events. So, and then of course I hosted a Cedo event this morning, so I picked up my Cedo souvenir, and I'm hosting another Cedo tomorrow morning. So yeah, it's been a busy week and a half or so.
Excellent. I'm getting in a CTO as well at the end of the month myself. So hopefully we can all make that happen and have some fun picking up trash and making our neighborhoods look a lot better, benefit the community. Anyone else have any notes from the field?
God is waving.
Excellent, Scott. Go right ahead.
Well, I think I mentioned 2 weeks ago that I was working with California State Parks to reintroduce some geocaches into a park that was devastated by the Palisades fire. So we're continuing to do that. Went out on Thursday. Uh, I had created an adventure lab, and it went public on Thursday, and we tested it out, and it worked very, very well. And then managed to take a little 2 mile loop hike and set three new geocaches. I've not submitted them yet, but they're going to be submitted here soon. And yeah, so it's fantastic, and we're going to go ahead and they're having an event with in conjunction with Earth Day on the 25th, and they've invited us to have a booth, and so I'm searching for volunteers. If anybody's interested to come in California and volunteer for a couple hours, I'd love to have you there. But
That's
probably not.
awesome.
It is. So yeah, so that was great. And um, Mike, if you can let people in, it doesn't seem like there's many people here. So maybe if you're being prompted to be a host, maybe you could let people in.
Maybe like
I was
switch
being
it to Scott.
I was being prompted by automatically apparently when Lisa dropped out. She appears to have control back, so she's probably being prompted for that. In fact, it looks like
Um,
somebody's just got let in.
okay, good.
I expect what'll happen is that if Lisa disappears again, it'll probably come back to me, but I can't be sure. I've never seen this happen before.
It's been a little weird. Yeah, I was to be the
Yeah,
backup, and they
that
thought,
was
oh,
strange. Can you guys hear us?
we can
We
hear you
can.
now. Yeah, Lisa, everything working okay on
Okay.
your end except for the video?
Yeah, no, it's not.
Okay.
I turned the video off so we would have better connectivity, and I switched over to my phone hotspot from the
Ah,
hotel. And it's working a little bit better, but I'm not so sure. So,
It's working way better than it was, Lisa. We can hear you very clearly.
okay.
So
So
Lisa, do
we'll
you want to
do
go
this for
ahead and,
now.
do you want to go ahead and give me host abilities and I'll,
Yeah, I think that's something I can do.
Okay.
Host tools. I'll have to figure that out. Do
okay.
you have some notes from the field for us, JD?
What? Huh?
While I figure this out on the, everything changed in Zoom, so give me a minute.
Um, let's see. So the last time we talked, since then we participated in CETO. Yes. So now I'm all out of kilter. I have one more CETO than I do Mega. So
That's a good thing.
yeah, and found some caches as while we were picking up trash. Then we did some maintenance, more maintenance on yours,
Mhm.
and picked up a few more caches all last week or last weekend.
Yeah,
So we were out a little bit. It was really nice.
it was.
Nice all weekend.
And I was also able to replace a cache that had gone missing that was muddled. And that is actually part of the Geo Challenge of the month. So that is an actual cache hide.
Very good. And can you tell us where you are and what you're doing?
Yeah. So we're actually in Cle Elum tonight. We are on our way to Seattle for our anniversary weekend. It's 12 years. And yeah, every now and then it lines up. Thank you guys. Yeah. Every now and then it lines up to where we can attend a Mariners game and a Kraken game on the same weekend. They both have home games, and it often falls close to our anniversary weekend. Our anniversary is really the 19th, so we're doing this a little out of order, but this is when it worked for us. So we get to see, hopefully the Kraken not go down in flames and end their season.
That would melt the ice.
Yeah, it would, wouldn't it? And then we'll see the Mariner, Kraken first, and then the Mariners on Sunday matinee game, and then head home. So this worked out perfect to stop here in Cle Elum. It's about 3 hours from home, and it's another hour and a half into Seattle from here. So we could stop and do Mappy Hour, but who knew that the internet would be so terrible here?
Exactly.
Yeah, we hope to get some caching in here and there. We didn't even get any today. We just didn't have time the way it worked out.
It worked out, yeah.
Yeah, but we should tomorrow. We're headed down to Pike Place potentially. Kid Vegas has never been to Pike Place Market,
Oh,
and then we'll go to the game and get checked into our hotel there. Same hotel. Some of you joined us.
Yeah. During the block party.
During the block party weekend. We're staying at that same hotel. It's right next to, well, a block away from the Space Needle and Climate Pledge Arena. So.
And were you able to figure out the host duty thing?
yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah, Scott, you are host now.
I am
then,
host and I
side benefit. The side benefit of opening an AL only account, to just start doing ALs on that account is I got to redo adventure labs that I've already found. I was in Minneapolis yesterday, and so at that airport I logged 2 new to that account adventure labs. So yeah,
Ones we'd already done before,
Yeah.
but you got to do them again.
get to do them again.
Yeah, fun. And Jim, Mountain Goat, to answer your question, unfortunately, no. I would have loved to have done the Moses Lake cache machine. We drove right through Moses Lake about 2 hours ago. But we had already purchased our tickets a couple of months ago for both of these games and made our hotel reservations. So we decided to stick with that and not do the cache machine. So darn it, we're missing that out. But it is what it is.
Are you going, Jim?
Yeah.
No, I'm staying at home and taking it easy.
Nice.
Because this is like the 3rd or 4th time it's been to Moses Lake,
I
right?
think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I took a look and I have a lot of smileys in Moses Lake. Yeah.
I've mellowed in my old age. I used to Um, think nothing of getting up at dawn and caching until dark, but it's not so much anymore.
Mhm.
Yeah, it gets a little harder, doesn't it? Yeah.
It
Unless
does.
it's the winter one, but that's the cold and wet one.
Yeah, and I've really enjoyed the winter ones, driving over to the warmer side of the western warmer side of the state. And some of those were really a ton of fun. And you definitely got to sleep longer.
Mhm.
Definitely. Yeah. And you're done earlier.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what we're doing this weekend. So that's why we are hosting from a hotel. And I thought that travel caching would make a fun topic. How do we plan for when we're traveling? Um, you know, Jem, you taught us a fun thing to solve puzzles where you're going to. Keep that in mind and look for challenges now that you qualify for before you travel. So you've got those all loaded up in a special list that you can use, and also offline lists. Or yeah, is that the right word? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so be sure to download those just in case, you find yourself out of internet or what have you. Some tips that we definitely learned from you, Jim. So I'd love to know what other people do. I'm going to turn the camera back on and hopefully I won't lose everything when I do that. So you guys can see us again briefly. Hey.
So we'll take this time to say, Robert, you were doing a great job.
Yes, thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for taking over
No
and for
problem.
Mike and Mike for being host. So
Somebody
yeah,
had to
Robert,
step up, so
that's so weird that we dropped out and it just kept on going. So fantastic.
Well, I think it just
Yeah.
automatically transferred to another paid account. So
Ah, okay.
Okay. That's good to know.
That makes sense. Interesting. Okay. So yeah, so Robert, do you want to kick us off then? I see your hand is up.
absolutely. So when I go geocaching, like to mega events or to other states, I usually try to stay in the host hotel. But as some people know, with some gigas and some megas, the host hotel can sell out. So I generally try to look for a hotel that's either like under Hilton or some other name brand that I know I'm not going to end up in a ghetto hotel where you're having the SWAT raid the room next door to you. So I usually try to find a good like 4 star, 3.5 star hotel, spend the night there, look for the amenities. Amenities. I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
Mhm.
Usually you want to have, if you have kids, you might want to have a pool at the hotel so you have something to keep them entertained when they get bored of TV. I also like to have a hotel with a good safe for when you buy those geo coins, you have a safe place to put them rather than carry them around with you all the time. And usually it's just all about location, just seeing what's available and what hotel best suits your needs. You might have some people who may not shoot for a hotel, they may look for an Airbnb. Just make sure you're in a safe area and not ending up in a sketchy place that might make you feel uncomfortable.
Those are some excellent tips.
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely staying at the host hotel, yeah, or ones that might have group rates that you can get a discounted rate around the event. Yeah, we definitely try to do that. It's much more
The
fun to be with a bunch of cashers.
The great thing about doing Cash Fest, which is a local mega event that's hosted around here, is they give you a tag for staying in the host hotel. That's a little geocaching travel bug that says you stayed in the host hotel, and it's like a little like a hotel key tag that they used to put on keys back in the day. So it's pretty fun to get that when you stay with Cash Fest.
Well, that's a great idea. I love that.
We
Cute.
had so Robert's advice to us came about
Mhm.
5 or 6 years too late
Hmm.
because we were at a going caching and ended up at one of those sketchy
Oh my gosh.
hotels that we lasted maybe 15 minutes and just no, we went and luckily found a room
Mhm.
at another place where a bunch of geocachers were staying. That's a little town and that's a big man, and we got super lucky there.
We really did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
It's
then
all fun and games
that's
until
when
you
we
wake up
learned
with bed bugs.
yeah,
All right.
that's where we learned you don't ever stay at a motel or hotel with a number in its name.
Yep.
So,
Under its
okay.
name, don't do it. Yeah. And I love the idea of being with friends. Nancy and Bob, we've done that with you guys and some other friends as well. So that can really make it fun too. That way you don't have to eat out all the time if it's a longer trip too. So you can, yeah, cut down on meals out and just be much more comfortable all together.
Yeah, we should have asked them, Nancy, Bob. I sort of snore, and that could,
Oh, you
rumble the whole house.
Thank him before that happens. Well, apparently this internet connection is holding up much better. We've got video too. So thank you, Robert. That was some really good tips. So we've got a few more hands. I'm not sure of the order. It's not showing for me. So we'll go Melissa and then Scott.
Yeah, so I saved my big caching thing over the last 2 weeks for this because it involved travel. We drove to
Excellent.
Cincinnati to see the Pirates play the Reds in their stadium. And because we're trying to get my husband gradually to all the stadiums. We're trying to do maybe 3 a year. But the thing was, well, originally we were going to cache on the way there, but we had some commitments Sunday morning, so we just wanted to get there. So he promised me we could cache on the way home, and it was missing 12 counties, all in the southern part of Ohio. And so I was like, this is what I want to do. And he's like, okay. Well, I started plotting out all 12, and it was going to take like 12 hours. And I knew he wasn't going to put up with it. I told Nancy, I said, yeah, Bob, if I'd been with Bob, I'd have gotten it done. But I was with John. So I cut 2 of the counties out, which made it 8 hours of driving instead of the longer. And that he kind of grumbled and he's like, what are you talking about? It's 4.5 hours home. And I'm like, no, not this way. So, but we were successful. Of course, it started out rough when the first planned cache was a DNF.
Oh.
But I planned 2 in each county just for that. And so we went on to the next one and it was fine. And all the other counties we did that day. First one, we didn't have to go for the second one. So I only have 2 counties left. And I'm hoping, even though it will be a bit of a trip when I go to Morgantown for Cashmore in June, I left the 2 counties closest to there. So, but it was a very interesting trip home. We went in and out of Kentucky and in and out of West Virginia coming home.
Wow.
But I did not go for caches in those other states because he has an account, but he is truly a muggle. He just, so that's some of my travel advice is you have to pay attention to who you're traveling with and don't push the limits of what your traveling buddy will tolerate. Because
excellent.
It, like, I know there are certain people I could have traveled with and we'd have been gotten Kentucky and West Virginia too. Besides all of Ohio.
But I guess what I want to know is who won the game?
Oh, the Pirates lost. It was an excellent game. We lost 2-0. they
Ah.
they scored 2 runs in 1 inning. But the pitching was so excellent on both sides. We were very close to the pitchers and got to see them, and we just didn't happen to hit. Now, the next 2 games, Pirates won. So they're 8-5, which is very exciting as a Pirates fan because, you
Yeah, no
know,
kidding.
to be above, 500 is just like so awesome. And we got our yeah, young guy came up, Connor Griffin, only
Yeah.
19 years old, and he's playing in the majors, and he is doing an excellent job. So,
Mhm.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, the
but you
teenagers
mentioned
don't
that,
often play.
yes, Kraken is your hockey team, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Penguins clinched a playoff position last night for the first time
Oh,
in 4 years. We're back in the playoffs. So I'm excited. Okay, back to
Excellent.
geocaching and travel.
This is a part of it actually, is, when you have other hobbies and activities and things to do, how you work geocaching in while you're traveling to them. So that's definitely a big part of it, is to plan your routes between places and which ways you're going to go. Like today, we were just looking at some of the caches that we'd found near here that were just off of the freeway. I'm like, oh, that's right. We went a back road a couple years ago and picked up a bunch of caches on our way. So yeah, that's a big part of it too, is working it into other activities. And I love the idea of definitely thinking about who you're traveling with and keeping peace in the vehicle.
Mhm.
All right, so we've got more
So,
hand. Oh, go ahead.
Jim, now
Mhm.
now he tells us try to avoid places that charge
Charge
by the hour. Thanks. That could come in handy.
Oh, I don't think we've been to any of those.
I think Scott was next.
Yeah, so it's Scott, Vince, and then Nancy.
So the first time I went to GeoWoodstock, I just went caching like I would cache at home, and that was a mistake. And since then, I've went to another one. Happened to get on the plane with a friend of mine, and we wound up sitting next to each other. And she definitely was. When you go someplace, only do the things that you can only do there. And so that would be my number one travel tip.
Hmm.
Mhm.
And then I've started to use Airbnbs with friends, and I really enjoy that experience much better than, even being with a friend in a hotel room where you're just both sitting on the bed and share just having the Airbnb in
Mhm.
or the VVRO. And it is, it's a matter of trying to pick and be really, look at those reviews and communicate with the owners and make sure that it's going to work out for you. Because a lot of people have bad experiences with Airbnbs. I've always had really good experiences with Airbnbs. But I definitely enjoy the camaraderie of being in a living room instead of
Yeah.
a hotel room, and
Nice.
and being alone in the bedroom.
Absolutely.
So when you say do things you can only do there, you're referring to other things, not just geocaching, right? You know, uh, when you do that at home, maybe go seek a different place or
Um,
Or are you referencing only do
no, geocaching only.
certain type of caches that you can't do at home?
Certain
Right.
type of caches, make sure, if it's
Yeah.
it, earth caches, for example, I've pretty much earth cached out my area, and so if I'm going to a new place, I'm gonna
Okay.
look for some earth caches. If, look for the little jasper fillers and things like that. So yeah, going to a mega event and doing something else. What's that about there, JD? I don't know even what you're talking about.
I
So,
guess,
and
yeah.
and somebody has to come up with a wedding vows that, include sickness and health and all that stuff. But, you know, come up with some geocaching vow in there too for that muggle. Yeah. And it'll be give and
Hmm.
take, maybe you're going to have to go to some baseball games, but they're going to have to,
Mhm.
understand a route only a geocacher would understand. All right. That's it for me.
Right. Love that. Baseball games, Civil War,
Yeah,
yeah,
battlefield, yeah,
battlefields and such for sure. But there's usually a cache nearby.
sickness and health and muggleness and well, we'll work on it.
Well, yeah, let's workshop that. Yeah. Thanks, Scott. I think it was Vince next.
Yeah, like what Robert said too. A lot of when I like go on road trips and stuff, you usually got to tailor your amenities to like who you're traveling with. But like in my case, my travel buddy, we neither one of us have any small kids or anything like that. So there's no need to have a higher end motel with a whirlpool and a hot tub, whirlpool, swimming pool, etc. We just needed a comfortable bed and a hot shower because chances are I've been caching all day. By the time we get to the motel, I'd be too tired to go to the pool anyway. And then I usually look for one that's got like you usually got a nice free breakfast in the morning. So then we kind of fill up on the breakfast in the morning and then take a couple apples to go, fill your water flask with some orange juice and stuff, take some snacks with for the road, and it saves a little money, that way. Um, and then of course, yeah, I always, we scrutinize like the reviews, really good. Like this last particular time, we stayed at a Red Roof Inn, a Super 8, and then a Fairbridge Suites were the three, and we had good experiences in all three, whatever. And so a lot of it is just you got to study the reviews and read the last few, and that's usually a good indication of what kind of the place that you're staying at. And every once in a while too, like if it's a geocaching trip that's not associated like with a mega event or something, a lot of times like we'll host a breakfast event at a fast food place or something close by to the motel to meet some local cachers or whatever. We did it like last fall when we went to Ohio. We hosted breakfast events, and we had anywhere from maybe 6 to 10 people in all three stops. So it was kind of cool to meet, people from out of town.
Hmm.
No, that's awesome, Vince.
Yeah,
Thank you for sharing. Yeah.
interesting.
Mhm. Yeah, Nancy, what do you got for us?
I've got the really easy planning the trip. I give it to Bob.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, he does all of our planning. I've learned not to. Every once in a while, I'll say I want to do this certain cache, so you've got to make that into our route and things like that. So you know, it's kind of
So
funny
would
when
Bob be
we're
available to do our planning? Can I send him where we're going and
you can try it. I can guarantee you one thing that you probably will be caching until about 2 o'clock in the morning because that seems to be the time we cache to. So yeah,
Yeah. Well,
so
we're night
then
out
we,
like you guys are.
well, I'm not really. I have turned into one, but
Mm.
I'm trying to rein him in a bit, and that's not doing very well. I've decided I can't keep going to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning. He has decided he's going to bed by 4 every morning now. So, okay. I'm allowed to talk
So
about him because he's
improvement,
not
yes.
here, right?
Oh,
Okay.
Um,
okay. We'll keep it a secret.
okay,
Yeah,
thanks.
yeah.
No, we've got an air no, we got a Verbo in Hutchinson, Kansas for GeoWoodstock this year. And we had 4 rooms
Okay.
available, one being a room for us and stuff, and I've got it filled. So I'm excited, and it's different people than we've ever stayed with before. So it's going to be very, very interesting.
There you go.
I'm sure, but it should be fun. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, we a couple weeks ago we went over to Indiana and did like a noon event cache, and then Bob had all these grandeur ideas of going west and getting counties and things like that. We got home about 2 o'clock in the morning. So, it's like it was like a 3 hour drive to get over there for the first event, and then we kept going west, and then we turned around and came back. But one of the best things that happened on that trip is we ended up going to a courthouse, and it was like 5:30 in the evening, and we're looking at these 30-foot pillars and the limestone, seeing if there's any cracks. We're doing an earth cache, and a guy comes up to us and says, "Can I help you guys?" And it's like, "Oh, we're doing a geocache. We're doing this earth cache and stuff." He happened to be the building supervisor,
Hmm.
the head honcho of all the county buildings, and he was at the courthouse. And so we're talking about what we learned from the history, and he was talking about these 30-foot columns being in limestone slabs and that they rolled them right there. They made the columns right there on the grounds, and he had pictures. He had seen pictures of this. And so then he says, "Oh, here, come on." He took us inside the locked building. And then inside, there was a meridian line. And so we got to do the meridian line. We got to see 4 stories of this beautiful courthouse, the stained glass dome. We're standing on the ground floor looking at all this, and he's telling us the history. There's a pneumatic clock on the wall. We were getting all this extra, extra wonderful stuff. He said, "Oh, here, come on." He took us up into the elevator, and we went to the dome. We walked around the dome. There's two layers. There's the stained glass dome, and then there is the structure that protects it so it doesn't, get hit by tornadoes in Indiana. And so there's like a 10-foot walkway around the dome, and so we got to see that, and we got to see the whole aerial view of the city, and just wonderful. It just was one of the best things that we did. And I like that spontaneous, you do, hey, something fun to do. Bob doesn't always do that. He's like, get the cash, go, get the cash, go.
Yeah.
And this happened to work out in both of our favors. He really had a good time doing that earth cache, and we met the supervisor. And I would somehow like to be able to provide to the courthouse their they have a picture of their courthouse opening with all of the bunting, all the patriotic bunting on it, which, we're celebrating 250 years of our country. And it would just be so cool if geocachers could somehow fundraise and get their bunting back to display on their building, because the pictures are just absolutely gorgeous. Anyway, all right, I'm off.
Nah, that was fun.
I'm off.
Thanks, Nancy. That was great.
I just love it when we can, because of geocaching, it took you to that spot and you got such an amazing tour of an amazing building.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's really cool. And yeah, 250 years. It's also 100 years for the Route 66, just saying. All right, we've got Robert and then Jim
Jim.
Mountain Goat.
Jim was first.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so regarding hotels, before we started traveling with our dog, I had a blast using Priceline to get good deals. Never got a bad hotel and always got super deals. It was just a ton of fun to play their little bidding game at the time, and I haven't been able to do it in years and years and years, so I don't know if it still exists. But before we were traveling with Tulu and now Nigel, it was just fun to play around with bidding for a hotel. They only guaranteed basically a room for two. And they didn't guarantee, and I think smoke free, but they didn't guarantee things like dog friendly or anything like that. So we had to quit. But I remember just getting $100 rooms for $50 pretty consistently. And the other thing, on topic with geocaches, you know, I love doing the caches along a route pocket query deal where you could map the route you were taking and get caches within a mile or two of the road, and then I'd put them in GSAC and start filtering. Like you mentioned, I like solving puzzles, and a lot of times the puzzle is, you know, when you solve it, the cache is right next to the road and it's pretty easy. And you get to do a puzzle cache. I tended to avoid multis because you never know if it's going to be a 20-stage multi that takes all day. I looked for things like high favorite points or older caches. I looked for things like hints. If cache owner gave good hints, I tended to favor their caches. If I saw hints like email me if you need help or message me if you need help, I'd probably eliminate that and maybe even search for that particular owner and eliminate all his caches from my from the route. You know, so if you don't like to give hints, fine, I don't need to do your caches. So, and like you say, you look for older caches and something exceptional or out of the ordinary. But it was fun planning it. The whole caches along a route thing. It was fun plotting out a route and getting a list of caches that were close by. So I enjoyed doing that. So anyway, I think that's all I have to add at the moment. Let's move on to Robert.
Thanks, Jim. Thank you for reminding me about caching along a route and doing those pocket queries and putting them in a GSAC. I haven't done that in years, but I spent a lot of time doing that back in the day, especially when I was taking my business on the road and traveling cross country. It was definitely a fun way, although you have to be careful when you're pulling a trailer with the dog. All right, Robert, you are up next.
Okay, I'm gonna first go off JD, where you're saying avoid staying in places with numbers. The other place I could recommend you don't spend the night for a geocaching trip or a mega is a traveling hostel. Don't ever spend the night in those. Those are not fun places to spend the night. They may be cheap, but they're not a good place to stay. The other thing I like to recommend is look for some fun hotels. When I traveled to GeoWoodstock in Fort Worth, Texas, I stayed in the historical hotel that was the Hotel Texas, where John F. Kennedy stayed the night before he was assassinated. So that was a pretty cool, historical, interesting hotel to stay in. Colorado also has some really cool historical hotels like the Brown Palace Hotel or the Hotel Stanley up in Estes Park, or even the Broadmoor down in Colorado Springs. So you can find those cool historical hotels to stay at, and then all the cool geocaches around them. And some hotels have some AIs associated with them if they're old. So that's a pretty cool thing that I like to do. Some megas, such as Cache Best, will put AI Adventure Labs in the hotel, so you have something to do for a little bit for cache wise while you're attending the mega convention there.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, we've definitely stayed in a couple of really cool historical hotels.
Mhm.
I remember the one in Butte
Yep.
that we stayed
It
at.
was the bank, the mining. No, wait, that was a restaurant.
Yeah, that was the restaurant.
No, well, yeah,
Yeah,
but
the hotel.
and that was like preserved. There's like, yeah, you're not going to this old hotel with modern plumbing and no, it was like that's what it was back in the
historical,
day.
yeah. But it was upgraded. I mean, it's
I
still
uh,
pretty nice.
Maintained.
I got to stay in 2017 aboard the Queen Mary, the old 1930s ocean liner that they had their Geo Coin Fest in 2017 there, and that was an absolute blast sleeping aboard her. She was a great
Mhm.
ship.
Yeah, we were there too.
The Queen Mary?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a
event.
fantastic experience staying there.
They
Yeah.
promised it would be haunted. I
Mhm.
didn't see anything, but
You didn't? Yeah. Well, it was
I don't
Halloween
believe
too.
any
it
of
was
that
Halloween.
haunting stuff at all. You're more going to get
So
haunted at
Michael,
you're more going to get haunted at a traveling hostel than you are going to be aboard the Queen Mary.
okay. So Mike's asking, is there an hysterical hotel? And it's the
Plant
Clown
Motel.
in
Tonopah?
Tonopah,
I think it's in
Nevada.
Tonopah. Yeah. Area 51 or the
That
ET Highway.
Yeah.
That-
Or hysterically scary
Yeah.
hotel.
Yeah, that's where you end up with
Yeah.
that's where you stay with Freddy Krueger for the night or Chucky.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no thanks. Oh my goodness, what else is in the chat here? Jane LA is saying, oh no, you might have to cancel your Airbnb. Well, let's talk because we don't have our reservations yet for GeoWoodstock. So perhaps we could take over that.
Well, hopefully not. Hopefully we can rather just see you there. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Hopefully you can come. You're right. What else is there?
We would love
the
to
chat.
have you, Lisa and JD, if you could come to Rocky Mountain Rendezvous in August 15th here in Colorado. That's our mega that's occurring. So we would love to see you guys there if you can come.
Well, we'll have to look into that one. Yeah, that's one I haven't had a chance to take a look at. Is that it's recurring now? Because I know you did it last year, right?
Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
recurring the last 3 years. Last year it was a block party, and
Yes.
we just the people have kept it going, and it's a fantastic event and fantastic fun.
Yeah,
Okay,
okay.
that's the one Joe Friday is affiliated with?
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. It's kind of drivable for us. It's like an all-day drive, but we could get there.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
we should, mark it
Mhm.
and then plan.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do
You know,
that.
wrap something else in with it as well.
Yeah.
Like we did plan once, actually, we planned ahead.
We've planned many times.
We
Oh, you're in.
about our coin fest in Houston,
Mhm.
and then
Going caching.
driving over to do our first going caching.
Mhm.
And so that was an instance of planning.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was our first time going caching, but we did it in an RV because we rented an RV. Those two events were back-to-back weekends. And that's what was really wonderful from a vendor perspective when they are back-to-back weekend mega events. So we flew into Houston and brought all of our gear for vending and camping for a week.
Mhm.
And then got the RV in Houston and then RV'd our way, spent about 3 or 4 nights on the road, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, to going caching in Rome. And we were set up as a vendor there as well. And they also allowed us, there's RV hookups at the Rome event.
Mhm.
And so they allowed us to stay on site, which was really cool. And that was our first time actually being at that event and then vending too. And then Gear Guru helped us out. You flew back a day early.
Yeah.
You had to get back. And Gear Guru helped us out for dropping off the RV and then getting me to the airport to fly home. And it all worked out really well. Other than the RV was
Yeah, the RV was a different story. Yeah.
problematic, but it was mechanically sound. But we just had a fantastic time, and it was a well-planned
Mhm.
trip. Just a few things didn't work out the way we wanted to, but everything else,
Yeah.
geocaching wise, definitely did.
That would have been a fun trip. Man,
Hmm?
if everything worked out as we planned, what fun is that?
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's the other thing too to keep in mind about travel caching. Things don't always go the way you plan. Traveling anytime, they don't always go the way you plan. The car can break down, there can be backups while you're driving, flight delays, DNF caches, gotta have backups, and you just gotta roll with it and not get too stressed out. I've definitely learned that, and um, just to have a backup plan, and if you don't have one, you can, make alternate plans on route as you are traveling, and not to get too stressed out. Always keep food and water with you if you're in the car, and go from
Mhm.
there. Yeah.
And the other thing, um,
I
Go
concur
ahead.
with
Go
Go,
that.
Robert.
I concur with that. Always have a backup plan because, like, a few times, like, one hotel we showed up and it was not like it was online. It had bed bugs. It was disgusting. It was gross. It was just over doctorated online. So always have that hotel in the back of your mind that you're going to go to in case the hotel you planned didn't work out. But RVs are also a really good plan as well because you can mobile and go and have your little home with you so you don't have to figure out where to stay for the night sometimes. You can just pull up into an RV park and spend the night. So the last thing you want to do in a hotel is
mm,
wake up with bed bugs.
yeah.
Yeah, thankfully I've never had that experience, but I'm sure we would have if we'd stayed in that one hotel in Rome, Georgia. Our second
They're
time being Rome.
nasty.
That's what I hear. Yeah. So another travel tip, take a UV light with you. Bed bugs will show up with a UV light and shine it on, highlight the bed, and it's a good thing to have for UV night caches as well. So keep that in your travel kit.
Mhm.
Also, make sure the door locks for the hotel. You don't want any weirdos coming in at night.
Yikes. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's something I never test, and I should. Mhm,
Well, according to the original CSI,
mhm.
you don't want, if you're in a hotel, you don't want the first room at where
Elevator?
the store, no, the stairs. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's because all the creepies get in, climb up the stairs and break into the first room and murder you.
Oh,
It's CSI.
okay.
They got a name for it.
Nice. Oh, good to know.
I
Good to know. Yeah.
I
The
chose
other thing.
one hotel for Geo Woodstock back in Arizona, and we woke up at like 11 o'clock at night with SWAT raiding the room across from us. So it was one of those nights where it's like, oh, now we're having a SWAT party. Okay.
Yeah.
At least they got the
Yikes. Oh
right
my
room.
goodness.
Did you pop out? Yeah.
Yes.
We hope.
Hey, that's the kind of experience that makes a good story.
Did you pop out and offer to help? Hey, I can lead. I'll bust down the door for you. Anything like that?
No, we just watched it go down, just watched them take the big heavy thing to the door and smash it open, and then went in with all their guns drawn. It's like, uh-oh. It's,
Yeah.
Oh
ki-
my goodness.
it's kind of like that scene in Family Guy where in the hotel, the Stewie and the other guy are in the hotel, and he just yells, "He's wearing a wire!"
Ah,
Oh my goodness.
yeah, I heard a drug deal go down once in a room next to me. I was geocaching at the time, but yeah, it was a sketchy hotel. So
Yeah.
be aware of your surroundings for sure.
I think for travel caching, one thing that affects me the most is um it, you don't one you're on the ground, you're looking for caches, right? And it always looks so easy when you're looking on the map. Oh yeah, we'll do this one, this one, this one. And you don't know the layout. You don't know which streets are one ways, which ones aren't.
Mhm.
And you don't know how to get to it. How do you access this cache that
Yeah.
has 59 favorite points?
Mhm.
And it can turn for me very frustrating very quickly doing that. And plus, the other factor is you don't know the hiding styles of the people hiding.
Yeah.
And so
You're out of your area.
Yeah,
Mhm.
a lot of my DNFs come from when I'm out of the area because I don't know this person's style. You know, it's been found 100 times before me, this one, and there I am logging them. Well, it, it's not you, it's me. I can't find that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's part of the game too.
Hmm.
Yeah. Scott?
Not related to travel caching, but JD, you have established an account to do your ALs separately. Are you going to go back and eliminate all the previous ALs, or is this something moving forward?
No,
And why?
I've deleted all but about, I think it was like 685 of them. And then as I find caches, I'll delete the corresponding number of ALs and then log my caches. So I'm hovering around 7,998 finds for the last 3 months.
Hmm.
And so it's at the 8,000 is when I will break break even, I guess call it, and I'll have all of my fines will be non-AL, and that will
Non-ALs.
be my count.
Have you
All
de-
right.
have
Yeah.
you deleted all of your ALs from your main account, your
Except
your
for
biggest?
Yeah, except for like I was saying, the 600, and I'm
Okay.
deleting them as
Just keep
as I
putting
roll.
more. Okay.
But the beauty of it is, I didn't know this happened, is once you delete them from your main account, they don't go away. The entire list is still there. It just says deleted. So you still have a complete record of everything you did.
No.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's, I was shocked.
Yeah, but your count number goes down.
Yeah, the count number goes down.
Mhm.
And
So you know the list, so you can
yeah,
go back and find them again because your phone has
mhm.
broken the geofence
Well,
or breached the geofence, right?
but I got a new phone, so
Oh,
My
okay.
my other favorite thing about Adventure Labs is as the cache owner, you can log them as found as well.
yeah.
Yep.
On your own Adventure Labs.
Hmm.
Oh,
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah. Hmm.
Yep.
That's right.
And so yeah,
Hmm.
there's that. They definitely have their place. Like I said before, it's just if I knew then what I know now, I would have started a separate account then.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I did, but when they first started, this was an experiment. This
They were
was a lab.
They were labs. Yeah. Yeah. We didn't know what they were going to be, and they were
Mhm.
kind of unique and, you know, generally a weekend only around a mega
Yeah.
event. And highly, you know, limited. And now they're not.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
But uh saying all that, I am sure glad they're around in their current format because um on their own they're fun.
Yeah. And they're a great thing while you're traveling. Again, to pull it back to our
Mhm.
topic, you know, it's something that you can use as a travel guide. Um, generally, and they're supposed to be, you know, walkable within whatever time
Mhm.
frame, and you can search via the different categories that you enjoy doing too now.
Mhm.
And so they're a fantastic way to explore an area that
Mhm.
you wouldn't be able to geocaching because it might not be feasible to hide geocaches there.
Yeah.
But you know, anybody looking at their phone and walking around, you know, that's something that's not too suspicious these days.
Well, and then traveling for people that like the history of the area they're
Yes.
traveling to,
Right.
that you're bound to find an AL in the cemetery that's gonna take you to all the key people
Mhm.
in that timeline of the area you're in. It's yeah.
Yeah, cemetery
Mhm.
murals are really a lot of fun to do for us. Yeah. Scott?
Yeah, and I've told this story several times, so sorry if you've heard it before, but when I was doing the Route 66, it wasn't Route 66, it was one of the caches in GeoWoodstock in Flagstaff. Just had a revelation of went to do an AL And I'm sitting there looking at this mansion and I'm reading the description and I'm learning about the mansion and I'm counting the windows or something such like that. And I realized if this was a geocache, I'd have walked over and I'd be looking for a pill bottle on that split rail fence. So, obviously I enjoy adventure labs and not going to create a separate account
Mhm.
for them. But I will also say I'm probably not going to be doing any more geo art adventure labs. Now, I used them to accomplish a certain goal, and I accomplished that. And you know,
Yeah,
they
there you
they
go.
kind of go to power trails. I've been there, done that. Um, and same thing with the geo arts. But for all those people who love the geo arts, find the
Mhm.
things that bring you joy
Yeah.
and then do them and leave the rest forever. There's other people to enjoy.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah, I quite agree with you on all of that. And we all geocache in different ways. And just a fun fact, and then we'll get to Chris here in a second. Um, Here locally, I hosted my community event at the end of the year around putting together geo art with Adventure Labs. And we had great community buy-in. And I think we had, was it 40 some? 30, 40?
50.
Oh, 50.
Yeah.
Yeah, Adventure Labs. And then at a next um, event, a future event after that had published and we got that all done, I asked, who wants to keep going? And it was like, our community was like, I think we've done what we needed to do and we're kind of done and we want to keep our
Yep.
own labs to do something different. Like,
Yep.
great. So I'm glad I asked. And it was fun. And then it wasn't. So yeah, that's kind of how it exactly the same worked here. Mhm. Yeah, Chris, go ahead. Good to see you.
Hey there. I thought I'd pop in and say something. And when I was finally able to get sound, Lisa, you were saying about having backup plans. And I was literally attempting to check into my hotel because I'm travel caching. And 20 minutes, like the hotel computer was down. And yeah. So, anyways, here I am finally.
Nate Robert.
But I'm in Texas, making my way down the west border, trying to do some county caching. I've gotten three first to finds today, all in different counties. Two were earth caches, and one was just a random uh, traditional that I found. So, I'm on the road. It's kind of been interesting, and yeah, as far as having backup plans and that sort of thing, that's what cache tours for, right? You always have one cache and then you have the backup
Yes.
cache. At least that's the way I county cache.
Mhm.
Oh, any of you guys been
Okay.
caching down in Texas in this area, South Texas? I'm like down in the pointy part. I'm literally in Rio Grande City right now. In the past day and a half, I have had 4 interactions with Border Patrol. It is freaking nuts down here.
Oh
Hmm.
my goodness.
I couldn't believe it. So
Did you go through
I'm
El
dying to ask
Paso?
some of the locals. Well, and Scott, I'm actually using my phone because the hotel internet is down. That's why I was
We're
kind
the
of popping
same.
in and out because I was on my phone, but for some reason it went into driving mode despite the fact I was walking. So, anyways, I'm travel caching.
And
Just wanted to say hi to everybody. Oh, shoot. And I don't have the link set up because it was very last minute. But back in November, I had told you guys about the event that Cheeky Brit had up in Idaho in Pocatello, and a lot of you guys were interested in it.
Yeah.
He's doing it slightly differently this year. He still has a lot of tree climbing caches, and he's going to provide support for people who want to do the tree climbs and that. But his focus is it's going to be a challenge cache, and I was going to drop the link. I was going to have it all prepped and everything to drop in the chat, but I don't. It's in Pocatello. It is August 22nd. And it's going to be kind of like going caching where there's a challenge cache or a challenge and you can go around and find caches and that. So mark your calendar for August 22nd. And if we have time before we end, I will scrounge up the link and drop it in the chat. But I hope some of you guys can make it over to Pocatello. He did a really nice job last year. And I think it promises to be something special this year. So that
Oh,
was the other thing I wanted to
fantastic.
tell you guys.
Well, thank you for sharing that with us. Yeah, we haven't seen Chicky Brett in a while. Yeah.
But so now we'll go to Robert's event in Colorado, and then we could do next week would
What are
be
the
this.
dates with it? Are they back-to-back weekends?
I think so.
I know Robert, I think, has logged out already,
Yeah.
and Chris looks like she's frozen. So we'll have to double check those events. Yeah, cool.
I think we should probably also end.
Yeah, we are. Oh, goodness, we are
I'm
over
here.
our time. Oh, you're back, Chris.
Okay.
Are you back?
Yeah.
Somewhat. Oh, you're on mute. Chris, you're muted.
I flipped screens to try and find the link, and I guess that froze me on your end. Because I could hear
Yeah.
you the whole time.
Okay.
And we have a
Anyways,
horrible
I'll give it to you in 2
connection here
weeks.
too, so that, yeah. Excellent.
Okay, that'll work.
Perfect.
Yeah, come back in 2 weeks.
Okay,
Yeah, so
well, we
yeah,
wrap up.
Chris, we're doing the same thing. I switched over to my phone Wi-Fi as well to run this. So I think, yeah, it is time to wrap us up. So I want to honor everybody's time and go ahead and wrap up tonight's travel caching. We do have a whole bunch of barbecue that we picked up on our way here. We're super excited. I think some of you might have joined us a few years back when we were doing Mappy Hour in a caboose. Do y'all remember that? And near our favorite barbecue place. They have moved. That's why we have moved locations here, but still the same barbecue. So we're going to get to that here in a bit. So, gosh, thank you, everybody. Some really good tips, I think, that we have all shared with each other, and some events or adventures that we've had while travel caching. And tonight's episode is sponsored by Cash Advance. We've got some things going on. Watch your inboxes, all of you, and our socials. We're going to be doing a spring surprise box coming up here in about a week. So stay tuned for that. And of course, cash crates we're getting those prepped to ship out next week. And if you haven't joined those, we've got some really cool things. Yep, he's got the cash crate. Maybe, do you want to share your
I
code?
don't know if I can. That's too.
I don't know if y'all see
Why don't you just
his code there.
type it in?
I'm gonna have to type it in for discovery. So what is your code there?
CAA
Oops, hang on. CAA
6
Mhm.
WH.
Come on, there it goes.
There
There we are. So you can discover Kid Vegas. This was 2 months ago. All of our Cash Crate members received a trackable t-shirt in their cash crates. So that was a fun thing to get out to everybody, and a new project, something we hadn't done before, by putting unique codes on everybody's t-shirts. So go ahead and give him a discover. I discover you too, my dear.
Yeah. Okay, so
August 22nd.
second.
Okay, and there is the GC code for Cheeky Brits. Excellent, good to know. Okay, cool.
I think Roberts is August 15th. Ish. No, that math doesn't work out. Oh,
Might be close.
Yeah.
We'll have to do some research and see if we can make that round trip. Cool. Well, thanks guys for hanging with us with all of our technical issues tonight. It's travel caching, and you just got to stay flexible and work on your backup plans. I think we ended up with 3 or 4 backup plans tonight. And thank you again, Scott, for being willing,
and Mike
stepping in.
for just being forced in. And
Yeah, forced in. Yeah, and Robert,
Robert
I think he's
Yeah,
out tonight already. But yeah, for picking up kind of the hosting us while we were in that limbo land. So take care, everybody. We will see you all in 2 weeks at our next Mappy Hour. Same cash time, same cash channel.
Remember, if they charge by the hour, don't stay there.
Don't stay there. Yeah.